Sorry about that, just wanted to get my lights set up. Alright, this is DDJJ, and I am going to be working on camera movement. So what I have done so far is I've added in a camera shake, which that's actually a blueprint, its own blueprint that Unreal has built in. So if you go to blueprint class and you search all classes and you type in camera shake, then you can see it's right there. So with that, I just created my own, and this is something that like I just searched for a video, camera shake Unreal 4, and there's like a 3-minute video by Unreal about how to do this, so that's how I saw it. So you can get all the details on that on there, but basically this is, you know, essentially telling it that it's going to do a shake. You know, you got like set at random, it's going to be a sine wave, various other stuff. The video goes into a little bit more detail about it, but basically with that added, now when I go to my battle manager and I run my attack, I am now going to do this play world camera shake, and that's a general function. You just type in shake and you'll get play world camera shake. So that's just a general function that Blueprint already has. So I just called that. And then there's a location vector that it calls what they say the epicenter. And I'm just doing that in front of the enemy location vector that I already got. I already get these stored in the very beginning of Battle Manager, right here. Get player and enemy locations. So at the very beginning of the battle, it grabs their locations. And then with that, you're basically, I think it's like you're creating like a sphere. And with that sphere, you're basically saying, hey, if there's a camera in this sphere, go ahead and affect it. So since I'm doing a 2D game, not a 3D game, you know, there's only going to be one camera looking at the game. So I put it for this attack. I added it for the second attack. I basically tried to time it to the sword strikes, and I did that on both. So now this is how it looks. So now when he attacks, it does a little camera shake. Looks pretty cool. Yep, so now it shakes on every hit. So with the 3 hits, it does a shake each time. So now what I am working on getting the enemy to shake as well. Maybe not shake, maybe just have the enemy move. I'm still not sure about that. You can see I got a function called enemy shake, although it's actually an event. Events, functions, to me, they're like the same thing, but yeah. Events, obviously, you can call delays, whereas you can't do that with functions. So I'm just trying to think. Do I want him to shake? Do I just want him to move back a little bit and then kind of put himself back into position? Let me try that. Let me try just moving him back and then putting him back into position. So I'm actually not going to do this flip-flop. For right now. So I got these collapsed nodes. What these are is, you know, I'm basically saying, you know, the enemy that's, and, you know, I have this, I store my enemies in an array. So there's 3 enemies in the battle, but I have an array, and I'm saying the enemy that's being selected. So when the player is selecting which enemy to attack, that gets saved. So therefore this will know, like, oh, I'm I'm targeting the second enemy, so therefore I need to make the second enemy do something. So that's what that collapse node is there. It's called selected enemy positions, doing the exact same thing, just getting their enemy location. So I'm doing this because I'm going to call set actor location, which moves the enemy. I think I'm just going to have the enemy move, see how it looks. Alright, so I can kind of put that back down like that. So I was going to do a random integer, change my mind on that. Y is the horizontal position. Don't ask me why, it just is. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do for right now is I'm going to call this enemy pushback. Because really we're just pushing the enemy back. Knockback, pushback. I think pushback's fine. Okay. So I'm just going to do 2 right now. And then I'm going to need another one called reset enemy position. So I'm going to call this at the very end to put the enemy back to where he was originally. And it should be that because I'm not setting the enemy position, all I'm doing is just adding it to what already exists. Oh, I just realized I am going to have to set that. Because if I wanted to do consecutively, if I wanted to do 3 hits and I want to have them push back every time, then it would have to reset it. No, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does automatically. No, I think I'm wrong. I don't think I do. I think when you move it by 2, it's going to stay there. So that's fine. It's not going to move back. I don't need to set it. So then this should work to where calling the same enemy's position but not adding anything should make him go back to his original position. Well, we'll see. I think so. Alright, so this is called enemy pushback. And if you do the extra attacks, if you don't do the extra attack, then enemy reset enemy position. Probably gonna need to move this because I'm gonna need some more room. Good for now. I'll be consistent and do it before the delay because that's how I did on the other one. Enemy pushback. Well, yeah, you would do it before the delay. If you did it after the delay, then it wouldn't do it until after the animation's done. But I want it to happen as soon as the animation plays. Kind of like the camera shake. Enemy pushback. There we go. Okay. Oh, enemy reset's gonna happen regardless, so I don't need to call both. I just need to call it once after it's done. Tree gets longer. That's fine. I can just move you back. Yeah, enemy reset is going to happen right here regardless. Reset enemy position. There we go. Regardless of what attack you do, regardless of anything, so therefore we just call it once at the very end. Alright, let's see if that works before I add it to the down attack. Let's do it once. It looked like he moved and went back. It definitely looked like he went back, but not with the consecutive attacks. He's definitely moving back. So yep, I was wrong. You do have to set it, because what's happening is, since I'm not setting the new position, it's basically resetting it every time. So yeah, you do have to set it. Okay, so with that being the case, we're gonna need to capture the original location, just stored in a temp variable. So I'm just gonna call this, so it's a vector, and we're just gonna call it temp position. So where do I want to call temp position? I'm thinking at the beginning of an attack. Yeah. Somewhere in the beginning. That should be fine. You know, the funny thing is, I feel like I've done a good job at condensing this blueprint formula for the attack, and yet it's still extremely long. It is what it is. I mean, I could shove it into a macro if I really want, but don't really want to do that. I don't really see the benefit of doing that. Okay, so we're just gonna grab these, just move these over here. And we're just gonna set temp position. And that is just going to be the enemy location. All right, hold on, let me change this song. I heard this song twice yesterday. Okay. All right, so in the very beginning of the attack call, we're gonna store the enemy's location in temp position. It's basically serving as a temporary variable to say, hey, this is where the enemy was, so don't forget it, because I'm going to get back to you and reset the enemy, is essentially what that temp position is doing. So we get temp position in the very beginning of the attack. So that way, when we reset the enemy's position, I don't think I need that. I just need to say enemy location. No, I could. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. Ah, darn it. That graph. Okay. Nope, never mind. Yep, that was a waste. Okay. Nope, I don't think it liked that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because that's literally the same thing. Okay, so... No, that's getting it. I need to set it. Never mind. Okay, so we're going to get temp position. We're going to set enemy location. Just having a little bit of a brain fart. Set array element, maybe? Enemy location, set array element. Yeah. This is it. I think. Select their index. Okay, now I can use the same one again. But we're not done yet. Okay, so when I reset, I'm going to set the array element back to the temp position, which therefore sets the actor location back to that. So now up here, I set actor location to, so I should do the same thing. You're fine. You can do that. Calm down. And we're just going to do the same thing. But we're going to do get enemy location, set array element of enemy selector index. Okay, maybe I do have to call this twice. Yeah, I do. Okay, I basically have to do what I was doing over there. Yep. Plus 2. Okay. I believe this is correct. Alright, so enemy pushback. We are setting the array element of the enemy's location with that index to its existing location plus 2, and then we tell it to go to that location. And then when we reset, we put it back to what was stored in temp position at the very beginning of the call, and then we set the location. Let's see. I believe it worked. I saw him move back 3 times when I hit 3 times, and now it looks like he went back to his normal position. Yep. So there we go. It works. Make sure it works on every enemy. Yeah, I think it's good. I think with the camera shake and the enemy moving back, I think it looks pretty cool. I think it gives the effect of the enemy kind of shaking, you know, and at least, yeah, you can see the enemy being pushed back. Yeah. Yep, and then the enemy returns to their normal position. They're not being... Let me just keep striking the first guy just to make sure that he's not going anywhere. You know, he keeps going back. He's not getting pushed further along. Oh, you know what? You know how I can test that? Let me just not call the reset. Yeah, just don't call the reset. And that way I'll know for sure that it is in fact resetting. So we should see him start getting pushed back to the other enemy. Yep. It's very subtle. Just 2 units of movement, so yeah. Pretty subtle, but he is definitely staying pushed back as opposed to resetting. So there we go. Reset works. Put that back. Alright, so now I can add it to this attack. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like this. I like that it wasn't as complicated as I thought it was going to be. And, you know, I think that's just a discussion of game design, game development. It's like, or really just anything. It's like I haven't actually like done that before, so I initially hesitate and don't do it and put it off because I'm like, oh, I don't know how that's gonna work, so I just put it off and don't do it. But then when I actually try it and it works, and I'm like, oh, it really wasn't that complicated. So it's just a lesson of, hey, just try it and see how it goes. And research, you know. Yeah, I didn't know what to do with the camera shake, but I just typed in UE4 camera shake into YouTube, and there you go. Found out how to do it. Okay. Alright, so just gotta add those there. Nope. Alright, and reset enemy position. Now down should work as well. And it does. And it's going to get even more fun when I get to draw the enemy pain animation, taking damage. Oh, little bug there. Where I was able to call opening the menu before the attack was done. Alright, cool. And I know that's happening because now when I close the battle HUD and I call run Minto attack, I'm resetting the battle menu, which allows menu movement to be active, which I think is what I'm using to make sure that the player can't actually do anything. Select down, select up, select right, select left, and cancel. Well, it's only really doing it with that. Minto turn check. Okay, so it verifies if it's still my turn. So, turn change. And also set menu select here. Which, yeah, as you can see, I do have a lot of variables when I should be using just one. So going into that a little bit, I feel like Boolean variables, true or false variables, that's always like the first thing, the easiest thing to go to at first. But then I think as you start getting more advanced, you start looking at enumerations and state machines. So that's kind of what was happening here. Like this blueprint, Battle HUD blueprint, this is like one of my first blueprints that I was writing for this prototype. So there's a lot of, I guess you could say, beginner logic in terms of blueprinting in there. And then as I kept getting, you know, a year later, because it's been about a year since I've been working on this this specific blueprint. A year later, as I've gotten more and more accustomed to Unreal blueprinting now, I feel like I'm getting a little better in terms of how I handle state machines with the game. So with that, basically what I'm getting at is I kind of have multiple conditions in various places instead of just like one overall condition, and I feel like that's what you should aim for. You should aim for, well, I should say you should aim for using one variable, if you can, to work all the conditions in your blueprint. And if you're having to use multiple variables, multiple booleans, and they're kind of talking about the same thing, then you kind of need to rethink how you're approaching the design. At least for me, I just feel like it gets too complicated. Like if I have a million booleans over here for so many conditions, I just think it starts getting pretty confusing. So yeah, it's like, what is battle menu state? Well, I have a bunch of sets, of course, but when you get it, and this is what I transitioned to, I started using enumeration states to kind of lay my conditions out, which I think works better. Because if you're using an enumeration list and you're forcing yourself to use that list only, then the state of the blueprint can only be one of the, like if you have 8 states, it can only be one state. It can never be state 2 and state 3. It can only be just one. Whereas if you have Boolean variables, it could be this Boolean, but it could also be that one. So then you could run into an issue. So I think enumerations are better, and I'm sure there's an even better method out there that I just haven't discovered yet. Okay, so not only is it checking my turn, I just realized it's checking the turn, it's checking that menu movement is active, and it's also checking what state it's in. Yeah, it's a little much. It really should only be one condition to check. And honestly, I think is it the player's turn is really the best condition to check. If it's not the player's turn, then obviously you shouldn't be doing anything. But there are different layers, I suppose. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm going to leave it be. Okay, so menu select is set. What checks for menu select? This right here. Okay, so that's like just moving the up and down. Okay. Minto turn check. When does Minto's turn get changed? That gets changed, I'm pretty sure, at the very end. Yes, at the very end. So I got all these delays that are running before that even happens. Just trying to think of the best way to handle that right now. Battle Manager cannot talk to Battle HUD, and that's how I want it, because Battle HUD does need to talk to Battle Manager. And basically, you never want two objects that are able to talk to each other back and forth. You basically need one to act as the receiver and the other to act as the sender. So Battle Manager is acting as the receiver and Battle HUD's the sender, because Battle HUD has Battle Manager, so it can send to Battle Manager and Battle Manager receives stuff from Battle HUD. But Battle Manager cannot send anything to Battle HUD, which is good, because if you do that, that causes a circular reference, which circular references, everyone will say, causes issues. So the reason why I say that is because I was trying to think, well, maybe at the very end I could have something tell Battle HUD you may continue, but I can't, because Battle Manager cannot send anything to Battle HUD. It can only receive from Battle HUD. Another thing I can do is put a delay in Battle HUD before it gets to this point. But then I gotta see how many seconds it is. So basically one half, basically. Two, 2.5, 3.5 seconds. Yeah, could just call delay for 4 seconds. That's about how long it would take for the enemies to finish their attacks anyway. Well, let's find out. Let me spam. Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. So I'm pretty sure before I had put this in, I could move the menu if I spam the up or down key after I... Yeah. Yeah, so I can spam the menu. So that part was fixed with this. Yeah, so that part's fixed. But I can keep pressing select and a bunch of bad stuff happens. Yep. So I did not know I was going to be doing debugging today, but yeah, let's do some debugging. Because technically I think I finished my enemy shake. Yeah, with the camera shake and the enemy being pushed back, I think that looks good. Decent enough to go forward with it. Yeah. Alright. So let's debug spamming select. Oh, and I just wanted to quickly... So I am going to delete those. Just wanted to quickly comment this to say... enemy pushback mechanics. Always comment, and this is not just for Blueprint, this is for regular coding too. Always comment what your stuff does, because when you go back, because you will, months later, 6 months later, you will be coming back to this and saying to yourself, what the hell is this doing? So, comment, oh, this is where I select all enemies. Oh, this is where I do the pushback. Camera transitions, this is where I spawn the enemy and spawn the player. Alright, so let's see. So it involves the select button. So really it's just because all I'm doing is checking for the check if it's Mento's turn. It's fine, but then why don't I just use the menu movement active? And I set menu active is there. I set it true there. I'm never setting it false. See, I think this is one of those where I was initially thinking I was going to use this, and I put true variables, and I set it to true in some spots, but I never set it false. So it's like if it never gets set to false, then it's not doing anything. And the reason for that is because I thought, oh, well, why don't I just wait until it's not my turn anymore? Which in theory works, but now we have a scenario where, well, I have to wait for all these animations to finish before I do that. So now I gotta try and think long term. Because, okay, sure, the delay is 4 seconds for right now, but I do plan on adding more attack selections and animations in the future, which is going to make it more than 4 seconds. So, yeah, that's not going to cut it. I gotta think of something else. That's not going to do it. Okay. Delay is a float variable. Yeah. I could build a float variable inside Battle Manager that when you call run Mento attack, it spits out how long the delay is going to be for each attack branch. And then that spits out how long the delay should be. That takes care of my, changing it depending on how much time it takes. I wonder if that'll work. Let's try that. That is only going to work if I set it at the very beginning of this. It's not going to work if I try. I was thinking of like creating a delay float variable and then have it increment as it goes. So that way at the very end it has that number. But that's not going to work because all these delays are going to happen in real time, so it's not going to get to this part quick enough. It's going to automatically run that, so that's not going to work. Okay. So, yeah, I could do it at the very beginning, just count it, just know how long each branch is going to take, and just do it that way. No, because I don't know what direction the branch is going to be until it gets to this part. So I can't call it right away. And I would have to call these delays before it even gets to that. So, no, that's not going to work. Okay. That's not going to work. I'm not ready to give up and say I will do it off stream just yet. I feel like it's going to come to me. And I would like to, show how I solve it so that other people can benefit from seeing that. Okay, talk it out. So, I need to have something talk to Battle HUD to let Battle HUD know when it can and cannot take input action. Battle HUD can talk to the battle manager. So all I need to do is just set a variable on the battle manager, check that variable, and see if it's true or false. Okay, that actually, that kind of made it pretty simple. See, talking it out. Okay, what do I already have? In battle. Yeah, that's for something else. So I have battle turn. And it's like, yes, you can check for battle turn, but I need something at the very beginning of this to basically say, hold on, stuff is playing, and then wait. Okay, so just a Boolean value saying animation's playing. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm trying to think, do I need an enumeration list to say what state it's in for future potential? Or is it always going to be, you know, attack animations are playing, so don't do anything? And honestly, that kind of works. Because right now I have it to where if it's not the player's turn, you can't do anything, which is good. But we have these seconds of when the animation's playing. So I guess I just make a Boolean variable called player animation. And I don't know, yeah, I don't know why I made the choice to, instead of saying player, I'm naming it the player character, Minto. I don't know why I made that decision, but I'm running with it. Okay, so Minto animation. Minto animation is true at the start. And then it's false at the very end. And when it's false, BP manager, Minto, get Minto animation. No, you need Minto animation to be false. So, not. Alright, so it's an and statement, so therefore this and this, they both have to be true to do something. There we go, it's fixed. Yep, I was spamming it and no problem. And let me just try to go up and down. Oh, that part's not fixed yet. So I think I'm okay with this because Minto animation, player animation, for the future of what this game is going to be, from now into its, months down the road, I don't anticipate that there would be other things besides Minto animation. I feel like it's always going to be when the player starts their attack, it's called, that gets set to true, so therefore you are waiting until it's done before you can do anything. So, there you go. I think it's good. Now, the reason why I can still move up and down, it's kind of the same scenario, because I call battle menu reset. Which I do want to do these other things. And again, this was here because I used to call the animation from Battle HUD, but I decided to call the animation in Battle Manager. Because it was getting to where I was doing a delay in both Battle HUD and Battle Manager, because Battle Manager was handling the camera movement as opposed to the HUD. So I just decided, okay, I'm going to do camera and player movement and enemy movement in Battle Manager. I'm not going to split it up between the two. So that's where we have this conundrum. And it would be nice if I could call Battle Manager from Battle HUD, but I can't. And I'm still convinced that I need to keep it that way. I don't think I need to switch that. Because there's that, there's that. Yeah, that's right, because I have to call the camera change. Because I have a lot of camera changes that happen with Battle HUD, so, yep, that's fine. Okay, so, do I just add the same boolean to that? But then what's the point of calling? I guess there is no point. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And that's okay, because where'd you go? Right here. Collapse nodes. Minto animation not true. Now let's see. Minto animation not. Does that get saved anywhere else? Doesn't look like it. No, that's not what I wanted to save. I want to save the node. Alright, so this isn't too bad, because I just call, I'm already checking menu movement, so just go ahead and attach that. Just attach that and statement to it, and there you go. That takes care of what we needed. So, up, down, left, right. Because again, these both need to be true. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do this because it's just more efficient. You know, I don't need two branches. When both are saying true, I don't need two. I only need one, so I just need to add an and statement to it. Yeah. Yeah, just add another and statement. So yeah, that's all you need. You don't need multiple branch nodes. You just need one branch node that does this. Okay, so now I'm gonna copy that, delete that, and there we go. And that should work, and nothing should be broken. But of course, we will test and confirm. Oh, no, no, no. You were supposed to be the chosen one. You were supposed to bring light to the force. No. You were supposed to bring balance to the force, not destroy it. And honestly, it should be these things for this one as well. And this is what I was saying earlier. Do I really need these three variables? Can I fit it into one? But honestly, I think it's fine. Alright, make sure nothing's broken. I can still block, which I need to do a block animation at some point. I can move again when it's my turn. I can't move the menu, but I can block. Why did my stamina go up? I could swear I saw my stamina go up. Well, luckily I'm recording a video, so I can go back and double check that. Alright, well, it looks like I have successfully taken care of the bug of menu movement while that's going on, so cool. Now you can spam follow-up. You'll notice that the message follow-up keeps playing, but it doesn't do anything. Doesn't matter if you spam it. So that's no biggie. Alright, so original purpose. Camera shake, and the enemy does a little pushback. So there we go. Alright, so I think I'm ready to start my drawing another attack animation. Cool. Just checking things off on my task tracker. And also making sure that I'm not forgetting anything before I move on. But I don't think so. I think it's all good. Yep. So let's see, besides my animations, I still have using items. That's definitely a mechanic to do. I still have passive skills mechanic to introduce, experience points. The mechanic of the enemies blocking. And the mechanic for dealing extra damage in combos. And the enemy doing a skill. I was supposed to count. I didn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got about 9 mechanics to introduce before I feel the game is slightly ready to have people play test. Obviously do some polishing up. I will probably put it out for playtest without finalizing the animations, just because I really want to get, is the gameplay fun? Is the gameplay good? Before I worry about, well, I am big on the animations looking good and the animations looking cool, but, you know, I need to settle at this point. I need to be fine with, at this point, that, you know, the gameplay needs to be good, you know, before I even worry about stuff like that. You know, to me, that, you know, that's just icing on the cake. If the gameplay's fun, the gameplay's good, then all the cool animations and how it looks, that's icing. That's an extra bonus to a good game, is what I'm trying to accomplish. Alright, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and do the attack left prototype. And let's start by taking this one. Yep, this one's down. Left. Left is... Oh yeah, this one's gonna be a cool one. I got an idea. Alright, I need some more poppin' music. I'm more of a pop music. Well, no. I'm gonna go to heavy metal, but I'm more of a, give me some beats. Let's see what this is like. I'm sure people are gonna be like, this is very distracting. It even tells you 60 beats per minute. Interesting. I like that it gives me instrumental versus vocals, but I don't want it to play the instrumental one and then the vocals. So how do I fix that? Here we go. Instrumentals. No? Because I kind of just want to turn it on and forget about it. I guess I can't. At least not from what I can see. There we go. Alright, now it's all instrumental. Cool. Alright, so left means he is throwing his sword to the left. And my idea was that I was going to have him use his free hand to do a nice little elbow to the gut before he did that. So and I'll keep those on there for now. So it comes in. Yeah, let's use this one. Alright, so that's the reference. So this one's definitely going to be more frames, pretty sure. Go ahead and take out that sword. is this? Oh, it's part of the sword. Alright, so coming in, this will be coming in, but this will be him. About to do the hit, so I'm going to want another frame. I'm going to go ahead and just clear up the dust particles, as well as these particles right now. It's distracting me. I could probably just work around it, but it's just distracting me right now. Alright, so trying to show that he is drawing out his elbow, but I did that under slash, so let's do that under here. So I'm going to want him to be a little bit more down. This is my first time kind of like drawing this kind of motion. But kind of like he's crouching and throwing out an elbow. So sword will kind of be similar to how it looks in the transparency. Okay, this is not my kind of heavy metal. That's better. Alright, so a little bit crouched down, drops an elbow. And then on this one, kind of actually have it to where he's getting to that point. He's not quite there yet. An anticipation frame. Comes in, and then drops it, and then we can start the slash. Okay, so this one can actually be this one, but back. Coming in, boom. All right. Maybe I don't need it to be that exaggerated. Just like that. Yeah, there we go. Cool. There we go. All right. Like that. There we go. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, sorry I'm not very talkative when it comes to doing the artwork. Yeah, this is definitely more something that I kind of just focus on. Yep. Okay. Kind of around like that. That's good enough. Yeah, a little bit more of a body. Yeah, I think it looks pretty nice. Alright, so lands the hit. Another frame, because I'm going to do a particle effect with that. Alright, and now he's going to do the left slash. Alright, so I gotta think, where do I want the sword to be? Because the sword is the main element in the animation, along with the slash. So he attacks, he's like right here. So I'm gonna have him kind of like do like a jump backslash, because I thought that would look pretty cool. Maybe like right there. Okay. So where would the sword be? I might have to look at my last reference to kind of get an idea. And yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. So probably, yeah, it's probably going to be like back here. Just show little traces of it. Yeah, just like that. I think that works. Alright, and then silhouette. Not really doing a good job with the body on the silhouette, but that's alright. Yeah, so it's like it's hard to tell with the silhouette, but I'm changing from left to right. And maybe have the sword more this angle to really insinuate that it was from a left angle. or that he's, you know, swinging it to the left. I'm just being picky. It doesn't really matter in terms of the sword right here, but whatever. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. That silhouette looks terrible, but whatever. Good enough. Good. Okay. All right. I mean, I'll see how I play this out later. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to do 3 frames like usual. And that's when he goes back. Yeah, because this is no follow-up. Alright, 1, 2, 3. So this needs to be that for when he starts going back. Yeah. Alright. Dashes in. Hits him with the free hand. And does a little... that silhouette looks bad. Little jump back. Kind of like that. Yeah, there we go. Little jump back. For some reason the sword didn't come with us. Should be like that. Close enough. Yeah. So you gotta be at that exact spot. Oh, whatever. Okay. Yep. So then I'll redo that. Yep, so having him come in with a elbow and then slashes to the left as he does like a little hop skip to kind of distance himself from the enemy but still attack. That's kind of the idea that I was going with there. All right, so sword slash. Cha. My favorite part. I do like doing the sword slash. I think the sword slash is a lot of fun. Kind of in the front and kind of end this way, I suppose. Yeah. Kind of like that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. Pretty good. Nope. Trimmed too much. But trim like that, still trimmed too much. Yeah, that's kind of a tough trim, but I think that looks... So it should be heavier on the foreground as opposed to the background. Yeah, like it should be... Yeah, it should be. It should be heavier on the foreground, less on the background. It's kind of like heavier in terms of like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Kind of like that. And then you just kind of thin this out. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, but this music is pretty jamming. Ooh. Ooh. I think that's pretty darn good. Yeah, I think that's pretty darn good. I don't think I need to change anything else right there. I gotta resort this. This is not in the right folders. $130, $26. Ooh. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks pretty cool. Alright, and then he starts his fade away. Let me go ahead and grab one of these block particles. Which I started watching. Well, I just looked at like some fighting game particles. Cause I guess that's what I'm kind of basing this off of. It's like RPG, but with a fighting game style look. Just kind of how that stuff looked. And usually there's like a wave, like a circular wave that happens from the impact. So I think that's what I'm eventually going to be switching it to. Nice. Yeah, I think that looks pretty dope. Whew, all this hard work is making me hungry. I feel like I'm gonna eat a nice big meal after this. Yeah, I think that looks pretty darn cool. All right. Good old dust animation. It's not perfect. Man, I was just being really quiet there that whole time. But yeah, just drawing some dust particles. Nothing too complicated. Kind of lower this one a little bit. There we go. Yeah, and again, not the most beautiful dust particles ever, but it gets the point across for right now. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look up some more references on dust particles to probably change that in the final version, but for now, good enough. I think I went a little too exaggerated on this one, although I did like it. It is a little too exaggerated. I don't know. Kind of seems distracting to me. Yeah, so just cut it down just a little bit. The funny thing is, I'm sure dust particles, it's like, it's one of those things that's like, it's there, but nobody really notices it. Although that's kind of the thing, it's one of those where it's like, it has to be there, and being there will make it not noticeable, but that's just because it will kind of it'll look correct. Alright, so there we go. I got that, and I think that's a good note to end on. Finish that one, and then I'll work on the other parts of it, the follow-up and the hit version as usual. And then get those imported in there, and then, let's see. So next time I will probably tackle changing health and endurance from tick to event calls, because right now they are ticks. So let me go ahead and put that on. Okay. Let me just go ahead and put that on the agenda. Yeah, because I don't think unless I am wanting to do a discussion in my artwork and I'm trying something new, it's probably not that entertaining for me to do the attack animations that I've kind of already gone over, like my thought process. Because really, it's like, I did the up version, I did the down version. Really, the left and right versions are going to be the same, concept. So it's not exactly that exciting. So I'll probably save those for off stream. All right, changing health, endurance loss to event calls. Alright, so that will be on next time's agenda. And now I got it on there, so I will remember it. Alright, well, that does it for tonight's stream. Have a good night.